Oh, so cold. Hi, everybody. Oh, so cold. Morning. Oh, there's my box. Oh. Oh, boy. Got one person here so far. All right. Morning. Oh, morning, house. Oh, 1 second. Just getting set up here. How's everybody? Chris and Ellen, good morning. 1 second here. One second. Morning, everybody. Joining. Oh. Dropped the box. Had to rescue a box. Morning. Morning, Jake. Morning, Trippy. Oh man, good morning, everybody. Morning, Whiskey. Morning, Toys. Morning, Free. Marcus. Jesse. What's going on, everybody? Oh, it is cold out here. Why did I agree to this? It is so cold out here. Look at all my cardboard that I get to burn. I'm just showing you the cardboard. That's all I meant for that. Morning. Oh gosh, you guys are so awesome to be here. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you. It is cold out here. Oh my goodness, out in the mush lab. We haven't had people out here for a minute or two, and so we have to, turn the heaters and stuff off. Well, where the energy bill goes, woohoo, and we don't want to go woohoo too much. Now, Pops is good. I kicked his. I made it go a little too hard last night. We were watching the Rams win the Super Bowl last night. Rams won the Super Bowl last night. Woo! Rams won the Super Bowl. He's been following the Rams for a long time. Good morning, Terry. And so we kind of tore one up last night, and he's kind of Brock, B-R-O-C-H. That's a good way of spelling my name. I haven't seen that. Good morning. It's really the Titanic model. We'll talk about that. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun putting that together. I'm on box 3 now with the Titanic model. I got like a little special book that I want to share with you today. And you know what? Like I'm not very good at doing the giveaways, but if somebody wants to do a giveaway, Pops, he ain't hurting. Remember, I like to do the show too. All right, Pops is doing all right. I just kind of tore him up a little bit last night. We went a little hard. 64-year-old Rams fan celebrating the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, house. I have a Lego model I bought, or Pops bought, and woohoo, first time. And so I'm putting it together, and it turns out it's the largest model that Lego has ever created, by like a few bricks, because they had just put together or put out the Coliseum. model. They have a model of the Colosseum. So, we were thinking about getting the Colosseum, but then Pop saw the Titanic model, and he's like, well, you got to get the ship. So, we got the ship. And I am, let's see, the first part took 12 hours. No, the first part took 10 hours. Yeah, 10 hours. And the second part took 13 hours. So I'm 23 hours deep into this model. I'm a full day deep in the building. It's crazy, Whiskey. So, let's do... Who wants to do a giveaway? I'm not very good with the giveaways, but if somebody wants to volunteer and do a giveaway for me, and let's get... Yeah, right, it's great. Hey, what's up, Heidi? Good morning, Hager. Good morning, Kimberly. So, anybody do a giveaway for me? Who wants to do one for me? Or just, you know. Mavis, alright, Mavis. You do a giveaway for me. Heidi, stick around and I'll try and find you in a little bit after we do a reading. Mavis, you do a giveaway for me? And then when I look back up and I ask you who my winner is, you let me know who the winner is and I can show the box, alright? Sorry Pops isn't here today, everybody. It's me, Brock. I'm his kid. Ah, woo! We're going to read from Alan Watts. We're going to read a big passage. And we're going to get lost in it. I'm going to confuse y'all. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, glad you're here. Let's have some fun reading some Alan Watts. And Mavis, you do your giveaway for me. And what up, DS? Alright, let me read this. What's the name of the book Pops was reading from last week? That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Alright, I'm not going to look up. I'm not trying to answer. I barely listen to the show anyhow. I shut my bedroom door all the time. I'm right down the hall. I'm always trying to guess, like, what country is it? What is it? So, alright. I think I've gone through all the short passages of this silly little book by Alan Watts. Alan Watts is a Western philosopher of Eastern mysticism. I guess that's how you can say it. And, so we're going to start going through the bigger passages now. And I got to tell you, I'm going to learn just as much as you are, as fast as you. Alright? Welcome, everybody. Hey, welcome. Alright. So, Alan Watts. Hey, give me... What is that, Trippy Hippie? Trippy Hippie one? Alright, Trippy Hippie. Nice job, Trippy. That's good. Right before I was about to start. That's how it should happen. Trippy Hippie. Congrats. What was the... I know the answer. Like I said. Trippy Hippie. Let's see your box. Here's your box. I gotta write your name now. First. Trippy, do me a favor. You know, the rules are that you gotta send in to Detroit_Mushlab on IG. You gotta send in your address and a reading. I want a reading, okay? There's no BS off the hook just because I'm hosting. You don't have to send in a reading. Send in a reading as well, Trippy. So we got Trippy Hippie. And if you don't send your address or a reading, you're gonna hurt my feelings, and I don't want you to hurt my feelings. I'm kidding. This is ridiculous. This is all, we're just giving stuff away. Alright, here's your box. Let's open it up real quick, yeah? It's low-key Monday box. Oh my God, I haven't even seen this. Ooh, wow. Wow, that's a freeze-dried monster. Oh, wow. Wow. That's neat. I believe you can surf on that if you want to know what the heck kind that is. And then we got a supplement pack. All right, right, crazy. All right, thank you, Mavis, for running that game for me. You're incredible for doing that. I suck at doing things like that. So Trippy Hippie, get Pop some information. All right, let's get to this reading. I'm gonna bore you all for a little bit. I'm gonna learn. Give me some fire, some flames if you want me to start reading. I want some flames. Give me some flames. Flame emojis and I'll start reading. Alright, good morning. Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. So the monotubs are going great. They really are. We have 8 of them going on. One of them I'm already in the middle of. Thank you. Keep going. I'll read as soon as I answer this question, I promise. I know I did what I did, and that's my fault. They're going great. One of them's already in the process of its second flush, and thank you about the Legos. The GT it's like a GT mutant that I planted, if you will, and it's already in the process of its second flush. Really crazy. Everything else is starting to like really go good. We had a little bit of a goof up yesterday. Somehow, some way, the heater got turned off during the night. Oh my God, I walked in and everything's down to like 68, 69. And it was just, oh man, especially right as everything is fruiting, you know? Like Pops was like, oh, it's okay, the jars will be okay. I was like, I don't care about the jars. But, okay. We could take the jars downstairs, leave them for a day, and bring them back upstairs, and they would keep growing. I'm talking about my fruit. And we got it fixed. Everything's going all right. Everything's okay. But heat and ventilation, heat and air. Always remember heat and air. No, I know it won't. But, you know, these are my babies, my girls. My boys and girls over there. It's my kids. I'm trying to raise some families over here. You know? Mars ain't the kind of place to raise a kid. In fact, it's cold as hell. You know what I mean? I don't want Mars. We're not growing shrooms on Mars. Alan Watts wrote a collection of essays, a whole bunch of essays. Become Who You Are is one of those essays in this collection. You can see who you are in the book. And so we're going to read one of these. It's called Is There an Unconscious? So, I'm sorry, Jesus. Alright, here we go. Thank you for the flames. Let's go. Is there an unconscious? When we say that the chief contribution of modern psychology to human knowledge is the concept of the unconscious mind, we have to be careful of our terms. Watts, and a lot of philosophers, and pretty much everyone that I know that, and how you should be, very concerned with rhetoric. Rhetoric is how and what you say specifically, and what it all means when you put it together. You know, like, rhetoric is like standing on a sidewalk and no buildings around and you're yelling fire. That means you're crazy. If you're in the middle of a theater and it's on fire and you're yelling fire, that means you're in danger. So, like, the rhetoric of how and what you say is very, very important. So, he's going to get into unconscious as a term. So, welcome everyone. For the idea of the unconscious does not belong by any means to all modern psychology, and those schools to which it does belong have somewhat different views on the subject. The concept is associated principally with the names of Freud, Jung, and Adler, but there is no one name which covers their three schools. Freud's system is psychoanalysis, Jung's is analytical psychology, Adler's is individual psychology. There is no real reason, however, why they should not all be called psychoanalysis, because if, as is frequently done, we group them under the name modern psychology, we thereby group them with such important systems as Gestalt psychology, in which the concept of the unconscious plays no part. I don't know about Gestalt psychology. I know about Jung, and I know about Freud, and I don't know much about Adler, but maybe we'll learn. Popularly, it is believed that psychoanalysis teaches that man has an unconscious mind. This is not strictly true. For the unconscious, it's not to be understood as an entity or mental organism having definite location and identity. All right. So, in a strict medical sense, is what we're going to get into. The unconscious mind is somewhat thought to control all the things you don't consciously control. Going to the bathroom, breathing, sweating. I don't think you consciously can control whether or not you can sweat. But there's a part in your body, in your brain, in your mind, that says, I think now's a good time to sweat. What do you think? All right, let's go for it. And then your conscious mind deals with the fact that, well, now you're sweaty. That's gross. All right, so we're going to be talking about that. All right. There is no actual division between the unconscious and the rest of the human organism, for it bears somewhat that the same relation to the mind as the glands, liver, kidneys, etc. bear to the body. Okay? They are integral parts of the body, but we are not ordinarily conscious of them. The only difference is that the unconscious has no specific boundaries. It consists rather of the condition of being unaware of certain desires, impulses, tendencies, reactions, and fantasies in our mental and emotional makeup. It has its physical parallel in the condition of being unaware of various bodily organs and processes. Alright, so what he's saying is, in the philosophical sense, our unconscious mind controls our dreams and our desires. Okay? It controls our intuitions. Okay? Our first impressions and such. So, there appears, however, to be little or no mention of the unconscious in the world's religious, mystical, and occult philosophy. All right. So again, we're reading Alan Watts, and I'm reading "Is There an Unconscious?" I'm Brock. Pops went a little too hard last night. We were celebrating the Rams winning the Super Bowl, and so in case anybody's wondering what's going on, I'm going to keep going. Indeed, to many students of these matters, the idea is distasteful. There appears, however, to be little or no mention of the unconscious in the world's religious, mystical, and there we go, okay. Indeed, to many students of these matters, the idea is distasteful, and Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, has never been forgiven for regarding religion as a neurosis. You're nuts. You believe in God? Okay. In fact, the majority of religious people, whether of orthodox or heterodox persuasion, regard psychoanalysis in all its forms as an upstart science whose avowed object is to debunk all the noble impulses of humanity by ascribing them to repressed sexuality. Freud, a real jerk. All right, real jerk. And he, along with Nietzsche, were not regarded very highly at all when it comes to like anybody with maybe an orthodox view of things when it comes to like religion or such. I've noticed it. I've grown up with it. I know it. Learning about all this stuff, learning about philosophy and science, and in the midst of orthodox is it's a minefield, because you want to celebrate what you're reading, what you're learning, right? As a kid, you're like, hey, did you know that? Did you hear this? And then you tell them, Nietzsche says God is dead. It doesn't always come over very well. You know what I'm saying? So, that's all he's talking about, is the fact that, like, some people really aren't into the idea of learning about things that aren't in the Bible. That's kind of it. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, Chris and Ellen. Chris and Ellen. Much of the contempt in which psychoanalysis is held is well deserved, but this should not blind us to a certain amount of gold among the dross. The trouble with this new science is not so much psychoanalysis as psychoanalysts. The people. We might mention a professor in charge of a certain well-known clinic who devotes his life to the study of ink blot tests. The patient is made to drop a blot of ink on a piece of paper and is suddenly asked what he thinks it looks like. Being rather puzzled and humorous, the patient usually grins and says something like, "Oh, it might be an elephant with warts." Whereat the professor assumes a faraway expression and murmurs, "Very significant, most interesting, an elephant, yes, with warts. Exceedingly interesting." Rorschach tests are ridiculous. This case is not unusual, for the strange ways of psychoanalysts and psychiatrists would fill many volumes. I have heard fully qualified MDs discuss the case of a small boy whose propensity to bedwetting was undoubtedly due to his unconscious identification of himself with Jupiter Pluvius. Still more significant are the gatherings of doctors and patients for summer schools, where people take you by the hand, look into your eyes, and ask you whether you are an extrovert or an introvert. Indeed, such forms of psychology have swiftly acquired all the symptoms of crank religions, but just as there are half-wits and charlatans, as well as true students in mysticism and occultism, psychology also has its heights and depths, both as to its ideas and its practitioners. There are, too, the same internal conflicts, the same bigotry, the same dogmatism, the same personal idolatry, but one could hardly expect otherwise, and the mutual contempt of religion and psychology is but the pot calling the kettle black. Alan Watts. We're not done. I'm not done. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break here. Let's do a giveaway. Who wants to do a giveaway for me? Give me a giveaway, and I need a volunteer for a giveaway. Oh no, he was trying, Mush. You know, he was trying. He was on a lot of cocaine though. So, Trippy. All right, Trippy. Oh, all right, Trippy. Do me a giveaway, Heather. I know. Was Heather still here? I think Heather wanted to do a giveaway too, or Heidi. It was Heidi. Not Heather. Heidi. We got Trippy, and if Heidi's still here, we'll have Heidi do my last one. But, well, Trippy, you do me a giveaway, and I'm going to show you a neat little book. Alright. Alright, Trippy. Thank you, Heidi. Heidi, I'll see you for my last giveaway, okay? We're going to go through the story of the Titanic real quick. While Trippy does this. This is a animated, cartoonized book of information about the Titanic that my dad bought. He's really into, like, picture books and such. And so one of the cool things that I've been able to do in my life is create original programming for a place in Omaha that I worked for, and we had a Titanic show that we put on for like 3 years in a row around April, because that's when Titanic went down, and so we would have to, you know, learn a whole crap ton about the Titanic and all of its passengers, and we almost had the granddaughter of like one of the surviving passengers come in as a guest for one of our shows, but thankfully she rescheduled because I would have had to deal with like the runoff of that hullabaloo, and I don't like dealing with the runoff of hullabaloo. It's called breaking my toilet, you know what I mean? It happens, and but one of the cool things that my dad learned about the Titanic is, alright, so the Titanic famously has 4 stacks. And what's neat is you don't see smoke coming out of that 4th stack. That's because it's not a smokestack. That's a fake one. Up in the corner it tells you that there's a fake stack. That 4th one, it's just a ventilator. In case everything like fell apart on 1 or 2 of the stacks, so you could vent all of the smoke from those stacks to that, to that fake one. There's just no boiler underneath it, which is, haha, gotcha. You know what I mean? So, dining on board. One of the cool things that we did is we offered a first class and third class meals for the shows that we did. So anyhow, I really like this book. I goes along with the Lego set that I'm building. I got one more box to go for that Lego set. So, all right, Trippy, who won? Trippy, who won? I'm sorry. Who won? My bad. I got lost. Who won? TJ. All right. TJ. All right. Let's see. Tad. I got you, TJ. We got you, TJ. All right, TJ. Make sure you send your address and a reading into Pops to Detroit_Mushlab, and let's see what you want. Let's see what you want, and then we'll get back to reading. And thank you guys for bearing with me here. I really like doing all this stuff. So, all right, we got you, man. What is going on with that? Wow. What? Freeze ride. Kick your butt. Alright. Pops pack. Supplement. We give away hugs around here. We don't We don't really give away anything. People win stuff. We don't give anything away. They got to put a little effort into paying attention. So, congratulations, TJ. Make sure to talk to Pops on Detroit_MushLab. If you're wondering where he is today, the Rams won Super Bowl last night, and we tore one up, put one on. I kicked the butt. He's a 64-year-old man celebrating. He's been following the Rams ever since they were in LA and then went to St. Louis and they won a championship and came back to LA and were like, ha ha ha, we're gonna lose to the Saints, and then they're like, ha 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 ha, we're not gonna make it, ha 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 ha, and then they won. So that's really cool. So we're gonna read more about the unconscious. So we really got messed up last night. So he's doing okay. I did it to him. It's my fault. I challenged him, and I won. I kicked his ass. I didn't even look right at him. I said, I'm drinking 7.5, so you're drinking 4.4s. Ha 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 ha. I kicked his ass. In spite of all, however, psychoanalysis has a definite and valuable contribution for students of religion in our time. I say in our time because psychoanalysis is essentially a modern remedy for a modern ill. It exists for that period in human history for which the unconscious is a problem. And a problem it has been since man began to imagine that all his difficulties of soul and circumstance could be solved by the unaided power of human reason. The ancient paths of mysticism and occultism resolved the problem of the unconscious from the very beginning, even before it became a problem. For their first requirement was that man should know himself. Let me rephrase that. Let me say that again. The ancient paths of mysticism and occultism resolved the problem of the unconscious from the very beginning, even before it became a problem. For their first requirement was that man should know himself. Whereat he very quickly found that the huge brute forces of nature had their counterparts in his soul, that his being was not a simple unit but a pantheon of gods and demons. In fact, all the deities of the ancient theologies were known to the initiated as the inhabitants not of Olympus, but of the human soul. So all your different desires, all your different dreams, everything that you could do, all the different, they were all represented by certain gods. I guess is how that's being said. Like, you can't reason with a god. You can't reason with desire. You can't reason with love. You can't. You definitely can't reason with love, especially. Oh, and by the way, happy Valentine's Day. You can't reason with being human. You just can't reason your way out of being human. And so it's essentially, you can't reason with a god. Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. I want to see some hearts. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Give me some hearts. There we go. That's alright. Hey, back nine. I didn't see you here. Valentine's is alright. I guess. I don't know. Love the one you're with. They were not mere products of man's imagination any more than his heart, lungs, and stomach are products of his imagination. On the contrary, they were very real forces belonging both to nature, the macrocosm, and man, the microcosm. Occultism was thus the art of living with one's gods and demons, and you had to know how to deal with them in yourself before you could deal with them in the universe. Duh. You got to be able to survive. The ancients understood the laws which a man must follow in order to live with them. How by love the gods would become your friends, and the demons your servants. Good and bad. Whoa, I get angry. Awesome. Let's go get angry at something. Let's go build something together. Let's get angry. Let's turn that anger into energy. You know? Ooh, I like to drink a lot. All right. Let's go make friends. Let's go drink on a bar. You're going to lose all your money, though. Don't do that. That was a bad one. In every initiation rite, it was not necessary to pass through that valley of the shadow where the neophyte comes face to face with the dweller on the threshold and all the most terrible powers of the psyche. But the rite could only be successful if you faced them with love, recognizing them as manifestations of the same divinity which was his own true self. By this love, he broke their spell and became a true initiate. Meaning, you don't always have to go to God to be a better human. But man became over rational and forgot the gods and demons, relegating them to the realm of outworn superstitions. He looked for them in the skies and found only infinite spaces, dead rocks and orbs of burning gas. He looked for them in thunder and wind and found only unintelligent forces of the atmosphere. He looked for them in woods and caverns and found only scuttling animals, creaking branches, shadows and drafts. He thought that the gods were dead, but in fact, they became much more alive and dangerous because they were able to work unrecognized. For whereas the old occultists began with the principle, I know thyself, the rationalists began with, rule thyself. They chose what they considered to be a reasonable pattern of character and strove to impose it on their lives without any preliminary exploration. They forgot that it is impossible for man to behave like a sage until he has first come to terms with his inner pantheon. As a result, he could only achieve a poor imitation of the sage's behavior because he had not done the necessary groundwork. For this reason, the rationalist, puritanical mind is a veneer above a muck heap, an attempt to copy greatness by wearing its clothes. That was a whole crap ton I just read there. Become Who You Are by Alan Watts. That's what we're reading right now. Basically, we're always told to be a good person, you know, and we have no idea what good person means, you know. We're just a muck heap, right? Good word. A muck heap. Hey Zeus, you alright? I gotta read this now. You guys are talking about someone being sad. Don't be sad. Alright. A muck heap. An attempt to copy greatness by wearing its clothes. Don't do that. You know, the magazine generation I guess that would be my generation. Or prior, my generation. The next one forward, probably not so much. But, you see beauty and you see power on the cover of magazines, and you want to aspire to that. Like, I've always had the desire to have, like, my 15 minutes of fame, as Andy Warhol would say. And maybe not everybody wants that 15 minutes of fame, but we kind of want to be recognized, don't we? Don't we kind of want someone to go, hey, you're there. I see you. Kind of want to be seen, right? Yeah, we all love attention. So that's why we're talking, Alright. Well, when psychologists began to have the idea of the unconscious, this was simply man's fumbling rediscovery of the lost gods and demons. Alright, so we're talking about what makes us want to do shit. Naturally experienced occultists of both East and West were inclined to smile, for to them, this new force called the unconscious had never existed as such. And when people started talking about the unconscious as if it were just a repository of repressed sexuality, the occultists laughed outright, knowing that it contained far more powerful divinities than libido, who was just a little imp dancing upon the surface. Libido is just a little imp dancing upon the surface. And he really is. Oh, God. If you really think about it, it's like, get out of here. It must have seemed funnier still to hear the unconscious discussed as if it were a sort of individual with secret, dark designs and an unfortunate habit of wanting and thinking in direct opposition to the conscious. Maybe they're crazy. For the unconscious is not an individual. It is simply that about himself which man does not know. And as such, it is a purely relative term, because such people know more about themselves than others. When you're being crazy, you kind of know that you're being crazy. It's kind of like you're having an anxiety attack, and you know what you feel like during that anxiety attack. There's nothing anybody's going to tell you when you're having that anxiety attack, or when you're talking to yourself. And me too. I love thinking crazy. I love being. If I didn't have the drive to want to blow myself up and light myself on fire like one of the Buddhist monks to protest, like, that's insane. That's probably intense. But I've always been like a performer, and it's always been because of like just a fire, if you will, and you kind of have to have that. You got to be a little crazy. Kevo, you here? Symbolically, it may be represented as an individual, for in dreams the unknown aspect of men presents itself as a woman, and vice versa with women. But actually, when it is said that the unconscious does this or that, it means that certain particular aspects of your internal universe are on the move without your conscious knowledge. We're going to get to know your shit. You got to get to know yourself. You become what you are. Book by Alan Watts. I'm going to read one more paragraph and we'll do my last giveaway. And then we'll finish off. The concept of the unconscious is nevertheless important to modern students of religion and occultism, in that it is a reminder of the forgotten gods and of the place where they are to be found. Too many would-be mystics and occultists try to follow the rationalist technique of imposing a discipline upon themselves without first understanding the nature of the thing to be disciplined. I want to be a better person! I want to be a better person! Tell me how to be a better person! What do you mean? Okay. Alright. If I pray every day, I'm going to be a better person. You don't even know what a better person is? Chill. No, but I've been praying every day. I'm a better person. Yeah. You have to come to terms with the gods before you can ignore them. And those who jump straight from ordinary ways of living into the complex disciplines of occultism are inviting trouble. For until those terms have been made, the gods rule us, although we have a way of persuading ourselves that their often unreasonable dictates are our own free and considered choice. Say 5 Hail Marys. That's it. What? 5 Hail... I don't even know the Hail Mary. And you want me to give you 5 of them? Ugh. Do I have to say them like as if I memorized them, or can I go? You know what I mean? Like they tell you to go do like 10 Hail Marys. Like, can you go read them in a book, or do you have to read you have to say them because you have them memorized? What if you don't have them memorized? Can you do like half a Hail Mary, like Hail Mary full of grace? Hail Mary full of grace. Hail Mary full, you know what, like, and you do, does that count? Do you have to say the whole thing? I don't know. Thus, imitation of the sage is often a device put up by the demons for our own destruction. For modern man simply does not realize that until he has been through the valley of the shadow, his life is not his own. Until he looks within himself, seeks out his hidden pantheon and overcomes it by love, or what psychologists call acceptance, he remains its unwitting tool. I got a little over a page, 2 more paragraphs to go. Let's do a final giveaway here. Heidi, are you here? Are you still with me? Still bearing with me here? You want to do a giveaway? Who wants to do a giveaway for me? Oh, I know she's here. There you are, Heidi. Calling out colors? Is that the giveaway? Alright, Heidi's doing the giveaway. She wants you to call out colors. Thank you, Heidi. I'm watching this one. Fuchsia, yellow, aqua, orange, green, purple, teal, green, aqua, green, black, green, gray. I don't even know what it is. I'm just reading them out until she tells me to stop. Magenta, black, mauve, blue, chartreuse, seafoam green, I know, white, magenta, teal, black, fuchsia, blood red, silver, violet, pink, purple, burnt sienna. Stop, orange, rebel. Orange, it was orange. Stop. Orange. Stop. Hold on. Here we go. I gotta get up here. Rebel Rob, okay. Nice. Got you, Rebel. That was a good one. Alright, Rebel. make sure you send your address and the reading into Pops over at Detroit_Mushlab on Instagram. And we'll send you this box. I'm going to open it up. It is so cold out here. Oh my God. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to brag off a little bit here. And then we'll get back to the reading. So, let's open this box. Congrats, Rebel. Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't even stack these, like, on purpose. I promise you. But, goodness. Goodness, my goodness. Freeze dry. You could catch a wave with these. If you were a surfer, you would if like a earthquake underneath, and you could catch us. You could in the sea off the coast of Thailand. No, they are. I believe they're TW. Oh, and you also got a Pops pack, supplement pack. Correct. There you go, Mushman. All right. So, like I said, it is cold as hell out here. Let me show you how cold it is. All right. This is what I'm doing. It's how I'm playing. All right. Look at that. I don't know if you can see this. 38, 39. It's only 39 because I just started standing in front of the stupid heater. It is cold. So cold. But I have been chopping wood. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. The axe. There we go. I did all that. All because it's cold, right? And all my wood, it's been snowed on. It's so cold. Gets snowed on and all wet and it won't burn. So I gotta chop it. Oh God, it's ridiculous. I know, right? That axe is badass. So, good morning, everybody that's still showing up. So, alright, we got 52, 50. We got a few more minutes left. I'm gonna finish this reading. So, oh, it's so cold out here. 2 more paragraphs and we'll get the hell out of here. Alright, bear with me. Alright, Pops will be back tomorrow. The Rams aren't going to win another Super Bowl for another year at least. So I won't have to worry about kicking his ass again. Drinking, having too much fun. I won. Don't tell him I said anything like that. Alright? Don't let him know that I'm better at this than he is. Alright? Do not tell him that I said I'm a better drinker than he is. It's not about that. Do not tell him that he's a weenie. Alright? Do not tell him at all that do not tell him at all that I know how to do this better than him. Because it's not about that, okay? In all the old philosophies, yoga, Buddhism, the Greek mysteries, the Egyptian mysteries, this exploring of the unknown self was the essential first step, and now the same thing is attempted by the psychoanalyst, using a different technique and terminology. That there are failures and mistakes is only to be expected, for here are men trying to work out the divine science on their own, with little recourse to the experience of the ages. Though to this there are a few notable exceptions. Trying to deny the gods instead of figuring out how we are one. And those students of religion may be offended when religion is ascribed to repressed sexuality. It must be remembered that in many cases this may actually be true. and that psychologists have had insufficient opportunities to study that comparatively rare phenomenon, the genuine mystic or occultist. For what would such a person want with psychoanalysis? The warning to the beginner, however, still stands for, unless you really know yourself, how can you say that your apparently noble aspirations are what they seem to be? Thoughts are often wolves in sheep's clothing. The Dalai Lama isn't going to sit and get psychoanalyzed by Sigmund Freud. He's got no need for it. He's too busy being the Dalai Lama. So we're not going to figure out why the hell he is a Dalai Lama in his head. You can't really psychoanalyze that, can you? There's no need for it. I'm not saying the Dalai Lama is better than, or anything like that. I make a lot of jokes about a lot of things, all right? They're jokes. I poke. If I've offended anybody today, good. Then, is the first step on the path to visit to a psychoanalyst? Unfortunately, the matter is not quite so easy. If you can find a competent analyst, perhaps, but the profession of analyst attracts many who need their own medicine more than any of their patients. You got a bunch of nutballs trying to save the nutballs. The reason is that psychoanalysis has not yet had sufficient profundity of experience to judge its own results, to institute a hierarchy of initiates who can be trusted to say who is and is not fit to take up the profession. So remember, Alan Watts was writing this around 1930s, 1940s. And today, I don't think psychoanalysis is a big thing at all. So, but I'm reading it just for so that we can talk about what it takes to explore ourselves, right? Nowadays, we've got self-thinking with our awareness. There it is, and I still got a little bit more to go. But I'm just letting you know that that's when he's writing these essays in the 30s and 40s, and so psychoanalysis was a big thing at that time. So he's just kind of talking about. That's why it's a thing. I think awareness techniques today are pretty close to what he might be trying to talk about, what he would recommend. So, all right. There is another alternative, though the professional analyst usually regards it with horror. That is to analyze yourself. No, you can't do it. I have to do it. I know how to do it. You can't do it. It needs care and a pair of feet planted firmly on the earth, but if due regard is paid to the rules, it can be done. You can follow the age-old techniques of meditation, and you will often be safer in your own hands than in those of an analyst. If you just sit still for a minute, chill the F out. Of course, it is risky, but in these days, so many people expect a safe way to wisdom. The way to wisdom is, however, a great deal less safe than the way to making a fortune. It is perhaps the riskiest and most worthwhile thing in the world, but you should not start out on it unless you are prepared to break your neck. That's a good final line. Are you willing to die to yourself? Break that ego? Stop being you for a minute? That's scary shit. It's scary. I want to thank you, everybody, for letting me bug you. If you're wondering where Pops is, I don't care. We talked about it for an hour. TJ. Trippy Hippie. Rebel Rob. We try to do this Monday through Friday. You too, Kim. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Make sure you send in your addresses and such to Detroit_mushlab. If you're wondering about what I just read, me too. Basically, just sit down. Alright, Heidi, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for doing my giveaways for me. Trippy, Heidi, Mavis. No, you guys are the man. You're not going to make me agree to that. I see some of you know about the posting. I'll probably work and send some pictures about working on the third box soon. But I got to go take care of my tubs now. So I'm going to scroll you out real quick. We're overtime. I'm out of here. Alright. Love you all. Give me some scrolls out. Some loves. Let's get out of here. Give me some hearts. Give me... Alright. Happy Valentine's Day. Much love. Alright, give me some hearts and let's get the heck out of here. Alright, Heidi. I see it. Kim. Amy. Terry. RX. Thank you. Aaron, much love. Rams, absolutely. Rick Dog. Weirdling. Trippy. Rick. Teeny. Pete. Numa. Jimmy, you guys are great. Alright. Go check out Detroit_mushlab, everybody. Chris and Ellen. Terry. Oh, Jesus. It's okay. Thank you. House Rebel. Jeff. Whiskey. Back 9. I like... You guys are so great. Alright. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna read some more to you later on. I'm gonna go get warm in the house. It is so freaking cold out here. Thanks for keeping the likes up for me. Give yourselves a hug today. If you don't have anybody to give you a hug, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. If you don't find someone to give a hug to, just get a hug. You can ask, hey, can I have a hug? Well, don't say it like that. That's creepy. Okay, I love you. Bye.